I was wondering how Chernobyl and Pripyat looks like in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So the plan is to fly to Chernobyl in a System 152 from the Dimmer airstrip, which is located 30 kilometers directly south of Chernobyl, followed by the power plant in Pripyat, which is located 50 kilometers away. Once I'll get there, I'll fly by Chernobyl and then do a circle around the power plant. Then I'll proceed to land on top of the power plant and turn the drone camera on so we could have a better look at the power plant and its surrounding. After that, I'll fly and land in Pripyat and try to do a rough tour of the town or city. There we go, engines running. So this is how the Dimmer airstrip looks like. It's in between Rusaki and Priborsk. It's pretty small, but it's enough for a Cessna to land and take off. Right, let's take off. As you just saw, the runway is pretty short. So by the looks of it, I'm guessing this is Domanivka, and Stepanivka is right down there in the distance, in the middle of the forest. Over there we have Pisky. I think that's the place. And from the looks of it, I think this is the Rasoka Equipment Cemetery. So we went a bit off course, so we're going to follow the MoozE river. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing that right. This should get us to Chernobyl and the Pripyat river, which is somewhere over there in the distance. So there we have it, Chernobyl, with the Pripyat river to the right. And if we would follow this straight road, somewhere there should be the monument of those who saved the world, which is for the firefighters that were trying to put out the fire in the power plant. In front of us we have now the cooling pond. So we arrived at the power plant, and to our left we have the cooling tower of the 5th unit. And there you have it, the power plant. So we don't see any arc standing, and probably that's because the Bing satellite images are pretty old, so we're probably going to have the arc mid-construction somewhere over there. And there we have Pripyat in the distance. There you have the Ark. As you can see, it's half built with some buildings on top of it for some reason, and a huge bump in the front of the power plant. So I'm going to turn around next to the cooling tower, and then I'm going to try to land on the power plant so you could get a better look through the drone camera. There we go. And then this happens. Our plane starts to violently shake. So there you have it, we landed on top of the power plant. We have some kind of warehouse doors for trucks put on the side. So what's interesting, we have a bump next to the reactor, but over here we don't have anything in the ground. Even though the arc itself, it's pretty huge. And there's nothing on top of the arc that should suggest that there's a building on top, so I don't know why the AI put a building over here. I wouldn't be surprised if the AI put a building on top of these red and blue boxes that are probably containers. So we are back by the cooling towers of the 5th unit, and as I said when I was flying by, this tower over here should be halfway built, and over here should stand a fully built cooling tower, so you can see the shadow that's getting cast by the tower and a bit of the tower. So this is how the site next to the cooling tower looks like. And this is the power plant. So I'll try to take off from the roof of this building and then land in Pripyat, and then I'm going to try to do a rough tour of the town. Okay, once we are rolling and have some speed, around 10 knots, the glitch ends. I'm gonna try to land in front of a checkpoint, and to our right should be the bus stations. So I think this is a checkpoint, if I'm correct. And to our right we should have the bus station. And there we have it. So I think we landed in front of a checkpoint, and now we are parked at a bus station. Behind the bus station, which is to the left, we have the Enthusiastic Street, followed by a Friendship of Nations monument. Now the buildings to our right, the one facing north is a hotel for the workers, number 2 and number 3, and the one facing east is also a hotel for the workers, number 4. Now if we turn around and follow the Enthusiastic Street, which is behind the trees, you will end up at a blue building that I think is a sanitarium. And to the right we have this structure that the AI thought was a parking lot. That's a weird parking lot. Now if we turn left at the sanitarium building and follow the Okinawa Street, we should end up in front of the cinema and theatre Pramate. Now if we turn slightly right, we will end up at the amusement park. The Ferris wheel is the small long building. Behind the amusement park we have the stadium. And yes, by the way, we have some AI cars driving around. Directly to the left of the stadium is the Cheburashka kindergarten. After we cross the Heroev's Stalingrad Street and keep going forward, we will end up at the Pripyat Elementary School number 4, which I think is the round building over here. So once again, this is the elementary school, and that's the swimming pool. Now, I'm not really sure, but I think it's the building slightly to the left, which is the Hotel Svoboda. Now this is a Zavod Radiotechniki Jupiter, which I'm not really sure what they did there, probably something to do with radios and electronics, if I'm correct. And if you look in the distance, we have the Chernobyl power plant. So this is the urban area number 2 and the urban area number 1 behind it. Now we are going alongside the Lenina Avenue, which has a building in the middle of the road. And once again, the amusement park.
Get out of here, S.T.A.L.K.E.R.